Nuclear missile ready. Nuclear missile ready.
sure both players are good to go. Okay.
All right. Welcome, guys. This is the 8th edition of the Alpha X series. We welcome you all. And before we begin, let me go ahead and introduce ourselves. I am your caster, your friendly neighborhood puppy dog, Snoopy. And joining by my side is the lovely and dashing F equals MC MA. Sorry.
No. You got it. F equals MA. Perfect. All right. I'm pretty excited about this game. I was actually just watching Zest earlier this morning and some of his PvT games from catching up on the GSL Super Tournament. So
Yeah, this should be a good one. By the way, guys, this is going to be between Zest and Dream, so we're going to have ourselves a lovely PvT. And why don't you go ahead and introduce our first player?
Yeah, starting in the top left, representing the pink as always, we have our Protoss player, Zest, from Raise Your Edge Gaming.
And spawning at the bottom right, we have our blue Terran player from Brave Star Gaming. It is Dream. All right, so Nightshade will be our first map, and then of course loser will pick the maps afterwards. This is a best of 9, so in case you are wondering how many games we will be playing, whoever is first to 5 wins win this series. All right, so first probe will be making its way across the map. This will scout, and this is going to be a good scout because I think there's always that potential of Terrans proxying barracks. I want to make sure to identify that as soon as possible.
Yeah, and so far everything looks relatively normal. We see Zest going for the core first instead of going for that Nexus before core. Kind of respecting Dream a little bit, making sure he doesn't die to anything like the Reaper coming over. But of course the Nexus does go down right after.
Yeah, it's actually pretty interesting. I see some Protosses go for, like for example, SOS. I've seen him go for core before the Nexus, and then I've seen a lot of more common openers of Nexus first and then core. So I'm not sure if there is a reason for it, or like a particular reason, or it's just basically preference.
I think it probably comes down to if they see how much gas has been mined. If you see a little bit more gas, you might expect the Reaper coming across faster, so you want to make sure you get that Adept out to shoo the Reaper away. But I do want to point out we have this pylon starting over on the right side of the map from Zest. We'll see if he throws anything down on it.
Yeah, this actually looks. This might actually be a Stargate proxy.
I did, and sure enough, there it is. Yeah, I think he was doing that in the GSL Super Tournament as well. So it'll be fun to see it play out. A little skirmish going on between the Reaper and the Adept.
Dancing back and forth.
Yeah, Dream has to be a little careful there. He almost let the Reaper go down to the Adept, but of course he was able to pull it on the high ground just in the nick of time. The Adept's going to pick up 1 kill before getting out. But he's not letting up.
I would like to see him focus fire on the Marines, because I think the main threat of this is the Oracle that is coming, and as much less anti-air that he can get, that'll spell pretty good for Zest. But we do see a Widowmine being burrowed.
Yeah, and that's covering like the entire top section of the mineral patches. So if the Oracle isn't careful, it's going to fly right into that and have not so good a day.
All right, first Oracle is out, but he's actually going to wait for the second Oracle.
I actually kind of like that, because then you go with the pairs and they just like do the one-shotting, taking down those SCVs a little bit faster, keeping it hidden just a little bit, so that Dream doesn't know what's going on. Oh, and Dream is actually moving. He just picked up the mine, so when these Oracles come in, there's not going to be the defense there.
Oh man, this is going to hurt pretty bad. Oh, he's even going to bypass the natural right into the main.
I don't know about this. There's a lot of Marines in here. Just gonna have to be careful. Let's check out, see, so we've got the 2 mines, a Hellion and a Reaper getting boosted in the medevac in the top. Zest quickly reacting, pulling the workers and warping in a Stalker.
Oh,
good job.
Nice.
Just the 1 worker going down.
Yeah, and I love how he kind of pulled the probe to the Hellion force so that it kind of does the splash damage on the Hellion, on the own Terran's units.
Yeah.
So nicely, well done there by Zest.
I also don't know if this is intentional or if it just happened to work out in Zest's favor, but the second mine, when it shot, it was tagged onto a worker that ended up going into the geyser, so it actually didn't even kill a worker there. It just, it dissipated.
Oh, nice.
Really, really interesting save there. Okay, a couple more SCVs going down to these oracles.
Yeah, and so far we have, looks like 1 worker died for Zest, and while 5 SCVs going down for Dream. So pretty much Zest having a little bit of advantage in terms of how all the workers, the dead worker count tallies up, and we actually, these oracles still alive, so they can get some additional SCV, because they gotta be careful. There are a Marines and a Cyclone there, as well as a Viking.
Yeah, he pulled that away just in time. That the Cyclone getting into the health there, the hull damage of the Oracle. Blink is on the way from Zest, so that'll be his follow-up. And +1 just starting. +1 attack, that is.
Yeah, and actually 5 additional gateways being thrown down. So this is going to be a mass gateway kind of army composition by Zest, which should be pretty good against what Dream is going for. He's going for kind of a tank with some Marines, and I think if he gets charge finished by the time this attack is commencing, he should be fine. Although Zest might actually want to go and do a little bit of a stalker harass before then, and dwindle the amount of units before that happens.
A little bit of an aggressive blink into siege tank range there. He does pick off the Cyclone, which is nice. He'll be able to hop up to the high ground if he would like. Just tagging the units, playing safe. Viking for Dream has found where the Stargate is, and a dropship slowly making its way across the northeastern side of the map.
I like how you call it dropship, referencing
excuse me, medevac.
The Brew War days.
Yeah, my true colors showing here. A Viking's gonna land to try to depower this. It's got nothing else to do at this point in time. Okay, so that's a really nice. I love the pylon placement that Zest had there at the very top center of the map, just to scout for this exact drop. So he knows it's coming. These blink stalkers are gonna wait. Blink in. Oh, not quite. They're gonna bring the medevac down to half health. And while that's happening, we've got a skirmish in the middle. Both players exercising great control here.
Yeah, and you know what? This is actually slowing down the attack by Dream. Zest can actually recall his stalkers whenever. Oh man, they're so close, that medevac.
Yeah. I was watching that medevac as you were talking, and got pretty close to falling. Charge is done now, and a lot of zealots are getting warped in. We have some Archons, and looks like this is going to be the confrontation. No storm, but we do have the Archons. Liberator and some mines setting up.
And it looks looking good for Zest. He's cleaned up the majority, pretty much all the SCVs, and no tanks left. Only a few bio units, and Zest, I think he just pretty much
has it here.
Yeah.
Great hold here. Just probably not even going to make it out. Yeah, with that there, and that is the tap out by Dream. Really great hold there by Zest. It was perfect timing getting the charge in the +1 attack as Dream's push was coming across.
Yeah, with those mass gateways, you're able to warp in a lot of units to defend those type of pushes. And of course, Dream desperately trying to break Zest. Actually pulled all the boys, pulled all the SCVs. I'm not sure if he needed to, but I guess he was gonna YOLO it. And Dream was not able to pull it out, and Zest will go up 1-0, which means Dream will have the opportunity to choose his next map, which will be on Purity.
Yeah. All right. Looks like Dream is ready. Do we have? I think we have all the casters in here.
Let's see. Looks like we're short on. Oh wait.
I see Lyra, Mage, into.
Okay, yeah, we have everyone. All right, cool.
All right, cool. Here we go. Yeah, that timing push came at just the right time for Zest. I think slowing the units down with the stalkers in the middle gave him time to get that extra warp into Zealots and get charge and +1 finished for that fight.
Oh yeah, that was definitely helpful. And that's what you want to do when you're, getting pushed like that. You want to slow them down as much as possible. That's exactly what Zest was able to do.
All right, well, starting top center in the white half of this map, we have our red Terran player from Brave Star. This is Dream.
And spawning at the 3 o'clock position, we have our lovely blue Protoss from Raise Your Edge Gaming. It is Zest.
So how do you feel about this map, Purity and Industry? I have some thoughts, but I'd like to hear yours before I color them at all.
Well, you know what? I think in the history of StarCraft, now this is not based on any facts or anything, but just a hunch. Throughout the history of StarCraft, I feel like every map that has some sort of inhibitor zone is not a fan favorite. And this does not has 1 or 2 or 3 inhibitor zones. They have a million inhibitor zones. So I'm gonna say this is not personally my favorite map. How about you?
Game paused.
We have some pause from players.
Hopefully it's not anything too bad. Although they're typing Korean, so we have absolutely no idea.
Yeah.
Game resumed.
Okay. Well, apparently they have resolved it on their own. I do believe. Let's see. Yeah, we're on the Korean server, so should be fine on that front. I guess we should talk a little bit about the game, and then we can go back to discussing the map itself. Looks like the same opening as last time. Zest going for that core before Nexus. I'm a little bit surprised because the walk distance is so long. I feel like he could probably get away with going with the Nexus first, but I haven't actually timed the run distances, so it might be that you need to have that first unit out to defend the Reaper.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. I think this is quite a long travel distance. I'm like scanning through, and it seems quite long to me, at least. So yeah, I think I'm not sure. Maybe he's trying to tech into Stargate faster once again compared to last game. Maybe it's not proxy, but because the bases are so close air-wise, you can get away with not proxying.
Yep, for sure. And we should mention, we talked about those inhibitor zones. That is making, even though this map seems like it's close by air, it's in fact a little bit of a long distance. I think I was watching someone time it earlier, and it's about 20 seconds to float across, even though those bases look like they're hop, skip, and a jump. But a medevac boosting through those can get over in about takes a little bit of time.
Yeah, and also one of the quirks about this map is that there is a gold base all the way at the bottom left. We'll see if any of these guys decides to take that base later in the game.
Yeah, actually, something that I didn't realize until I don't know, maybe a few days ago. Ladder pool is still relatively new, but there are also some purple gas geysers down near, not at that gold, but the two bases just up and to the right of those, of the high yield gas geysers on them as well. I don't think I've seen anyone abuse that or utilize it, but that was something that someone pointed out to me as well. I thought it was quite interesting.
All right, we do have the first Oracle here in Dream's base. This time around, he's not waiting for his second Oracle.
He's going to get 2 in a Marine, and he did actually stop the SCV that was making that supply depot, and Dream doesn't seem to have noticed yet, so we'll have to see if Dream hits a supply block here. Sitting at 46 out of 46, and sure enough, no supply depots in the production tab.
Yeah, this is quite a bad supply block.
There, now he finally notices, putting back on the other one and starting a second. Mine drop in the main of Zest.
Oh, wow, that Widow Mine hits a probe that was in the geyser once again.
Yeah.
So getting lucky for the second time in a row.
Yeah. I was doing a minute micro challenge the other day, and one of the things that you had to do is all the different ways to cancel mines. So you had to blink away from it, and you had to depth shade away and pick things up. So one of them was loading something into a geyser or a bunker kind of thing.
Nice.
Pretty interesting. A lot of Phoenixes this game. That's not something we saw last time. I mean, there's a fair number of Marines here, but he is able to just poke in, kill the Hellion, get some damage done.
Yeah, and he's added a Forge as well as a Twilight Cancel, so it's looking very much like a Phoenix charge lot with some Archons maybe kind of composition. While here over at the Terran side, he's got his 3 racks, so pretty much a standard common Battle Force army coming out of Dream.
Yeah, we do see both stim and combat shields starting up, or about a third of the way done at this point. One interesting thing, we have Zest taking his third base. It is completed and he is mining off of it. No third base in sight for Dream. I think he's going to try to make a big bio push, and we'll see if Zest can hold it.
Yeah, this is quite weird because, I mean, he only has 3 racks. If you think about it, if someone's going to delay this command center by that long, you would think they would have their 4th and 5th racks so that their push is a lot more deadlier. But yeah, I think it's just going to be a kind of a late third.
Looks like there might be a drop in the main while these other units try to poke somewhere else, perhaps? Unclear. If the Phoenix see these dropships while they're in the slow zones, though, okay, no, they're going to get pushed back. SCV is making its way over to start the third base for Dream.
Yeah, it's pretty scary because the airspace is so huge that it's you got to cover a lot of ground with your Phoenixes. So you got to make sure you get on top of that so that they don't just all of a sudden just drop into your main base.
Dropships all getting loaded up here once again, making their way. Well, okay. They're congregating. We'll see if they try to make their way into the base. They're back and forth, back and forth. Oh, they see the Phoenix and pull back. It's both players well aware of what damage could happen based on how this could go in a couple different directions. I will say I'm a little bit disappointed not to see the meme lifted off base and put on that island up there. But I think because of all these Phoenix, it's probably a wise choice.
Oh man, this is actually a random stasis ward here. Unfortunately, none of the... Oh, he does see that he's going to send activator with 1 Marine.
Yeah, well, not too many workers down yet, but a lot of units going down.
Yeah, a lot of Phoenixes went down. But the ground units of Zest will be able to force that back. And now they're just
Another
stuck on the
pylon
island.
dropping. Yeah, while that was happening, Dream did a little bit of a poke and was able to depower the core and one gateway, I guess. Not huge damage, but every little bit, I guess. If these charge lots can catch these Marines and Marauders, though. Okay. Sieging the mines or burrowing them into the ground. We've got a flanking force of Zealots just finished their slow warp in.
Oh wow, look at this. Hallucinated charge lot to activate the Widow Mines. You don't see that every day.
I really like that play. That's really strong. And right now, while he's keeping the Terran distracted, these charge lots at the top haven't gotten too many worker kills yet. Their next charge goes up, so they got 3. It looks like he's going to lose 1 Zealot for his troubles. Okay, maybe a few more. At this point, deciding that his attention is better utilized elsewhere.
All right, so it looks like. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead. No. Phoenix is coming in, grabbing a couple more units there, a couple more workers there. But again, Dream doing a good job of kind of bouncing off these short attacks.
Yeah, so far these Phoenixes haven't done too much, and actually gets a Widow. I mean, not Widow Mine, the medevac. So, or according to you, dropship, right?
Exactly.
They're pretty much the same thing, you know.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. No. Dropships combined with medics. That's what we'll call them. It's Marine bravely giving his life to the Zealot of Zest. It's like, maybe I can get it. Nope, get out of here.
Oh, he's retreated back to his
he gets
brothers.
away. Oh, and actually baiting the charge lot.
It's all in his master plan.
So there's a little strike force from Dream at the bottom while this attack has gone up. Some good force fields.
Oh, it's actually some nice Widow Mine hits though. But these High Templars with Storm has arrived.
Oh, the flank on that Storm is really strong too.
Yeah, and with these Phoenixes, it makes it hard for him to retreat without losing some of these medevacs. But a lot of these medevacs are in the red life. And this little kind of a Marine force at the bottom finally gets caught in the middle.
Yeah. Save that one lone Marine who's slowly walking. Is he going to make it?
Ooh, nope. Poor Marine.
He tried to sneak by. We do have some ghosts coming into the mix now with Enhanced Shockwave finishing up in just a few seconds, so that will make the EMP a lot more deadly to this High Templar Archon Phoenix composition.
Yeah, but looks like Zest, he's adding a fleet beacon as well as a robotics bay.
Yeah.
So I don't think these ghosts will be useful. I mean, it will be useful against the High Templars, but once like things like carriers or maybe Colossus comes out, it's not quite as effective. Oh man, this is not a ramp that Zest wants to go up at. It's pretty dangerous. Yeah.
I think you're right. He thought better of it as well. Ooh, great EMP there, hitting almost all of the units for Zest. I think Dream has to be careful coming too far down the ramp, though. Oh, great storm. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think the Dream wanted to come down here.
Yeah, I think he got a little bit desperate because he wanted to expand there, but he does finally break it through, but that was quite expensive for him. He got stormed quite a lot. A lot of his units are in red life, and all these medevacs are drained of energy, so it has given Zest the opportunity to just focus on creating or researching and creating higher tech units such as the Mothership as well as Colossus, knowing that there is not a high chance that Dream is going to counterattack.
Yeah, looking at the units lost, actually, it seems like Zest has lost quite a bit more, and the income is favoring Zest, but it's starting to tip back in the direction of Dream. So if this fourth base gets up and running, we'll have to see how that plays out.
Yeah, remember Zest did get the dirt base quite earlier than compared to Dream, so I think he's able to afford to lose a bit more resources and still be able to keep up. And he's taking the sneaky gold there at the bottom. So
yep, I see that. We'll see if there's a Marine walking down there. I think Dream wants to double check that this isn't happening, and he is going to see it. But while that happens, big Terran push coming across here.
oh yeah, but this is quite a scary force from Zest. Not as much Colossus as he probably wants, but he does have 2 sources of AoE damage units. Oh
yeah. I mean, looking at this right now on paper, Dream is quite a bit up on the army supply. Mothership coming out though. No detection for Dream other than scans, I guess. And then the EMPs will reveal things as well, so I should actually eat my words there. I think Dream is actually going to crush right through this. You know, the upgrades are even, but all these Marauders are just tearing through the Stalkers and Colossi. At this point, there's 20 army supply for Zest to the 120 of Dream. And yeah, sure enough, that it's going to take us up to 1-1 here.
Oh my, that was quite surprising because it looked like Zest was, I mean, in terms of the economy, he was starting to get rolled out, but I think Dream caught him at a nice time where Zest was kind of transitioning and into like Colossus tech, wasn't able to get as much Colossus, and then he was investing in that mothership, which didn't really do too much. Just popped out just before the attack, but with the EMP, didn't really do too much.
Yeah, and he wasn't able to do anything silly like send the mothership in there to recall the army. Yeah. Let me go ahead. Looks like we do have our next map here. We're going to be playing on Everdream. So let me get that created.
All right. While you get that started, I'm just going to go ahead and give a shout out to one of our sponsors, G Fuel. They're pretty much the official energy drink of esports. They make sugar-free energy drinks, so you don't need to worry about any sugar in your drinks. They have a bunch of varieties, such as caffeine if you want a bit more caffeine, and they also have a hydration variety if you're a bit more thirstier. So yeah, you can check them out and get yourself some G Fuel energy formula drinks.
Yeah. Looks like both players are ready. Are we missing one person from the casting side?
Yeah, Lyra. All right.
Lyra. Let's make sure. There we go. Now Lyra is in there. So let's go ahead and get this started.
All right. By the way, guys, there is a Matcherino page set up for this event. If you would like to contribute to the prize pool, you can type in !Matcherino into the Twitch chat or the Nightbot. It has an automatic timer to give you the Matcherino page. Just type in the coupon code AX Series 8, and that will contribute 50 cents for free to the total prize pool.
Nice. And with that, we will go ahead and start this next match on Everdream. Once again, repping the blue Terran race, we have our Brave Star Gaming player, Dream.
And spawning at the top right, we have our pink Protoss from Raise Your Edge Gaming. It is Zest.
So what do you think? Are we going to see that core before Nexus once again from Zest here?
You know what? He's been pretty much sticking to that same core into Nexus opening, so I wouldn't be too surprised if he decided to go for that once again. It has been working okay-ishly. I mean, it worked in the first game, maybe not so much in the second game. But you know what? I don't think. I mean, if you're used to that same opening, I mean, why not, right?
Yeah, of course. I think making sure that you're comfortable with an opening is certainly one of the most important things you can do here. Probe trying to play tag here. Not really getting it.
Oh, tagger it.
Yeah. And sure enough, there comes the core.
You know
Yeah,
what?
both these players. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. No, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just going to say both these players opening up the same on this third game as we've seen the previous two. So nothing too out of the ordinary quite yet. No meta games and mind games here.
Yeah, I was just gonna just basically say, like, you know, back in the day when we were kids, you know, we would play tag all the time in the park, and sometimes, you know, you're just gonna reminisce and like miss the good old days. Like, I mean, these days as
Yeah.
adults, you don't really get the chance to play tag or anything. I mean, maybe if you got kids or something and you're playing tag with your kids, but
Sure. Yeah, it's been quite some time since I've played tag at a real level. Although I will admit, I fell down a YouTube rabbit hole with some friends the other day. We were watching. Apparently, there's a world tag championship.
what?
I kid you not. There's a thing where players. Basically it's tag. You run around and there's a timer and you can be the chaser of the person. I recommend if you have absolutely nothing else to do with your time and you've watched every single StarCraft VOD out there, then maybe spend some time on this. But
Holy cow!
yeah. In terms of the game, though, if we get back to StarCraft, seeing again pretty standard things. I do want to point out the wall that Zest went for here, putting that gateway in the core. That is a great positioning that I am going to start implementing in my game. So it blocks the Reapers from jumping up just by putting the gateway and the core there. And so he was able to kind of keep that Reaper from poking in, because that is in fact the only Reaper ledge available.
Yeah, that's a really nice wall. But here we go. The two adepts will go ahead and try to get some damage. Oh, actually, he joined the one adept at the behind the mineral line there. Oh, actually, this is
turning out to do quite a little bit of damage here.
Yeah.
Well, it hasn't gotten too many workers yet.
All right. So so far, let's see the units lost tab. 1 Hellion, 3 Marine, and only 1 adept. Yeah, I would say that would favor Zest there. Not too detrimental though. We do see Dream loading up 2 Widow Mines into the medevac. It's going to be up to Zest to make sure he responds in time, make sure he doesn't lose any probes. Now remember, the last 2 games, he's got pretty lucky with the Widow Mine, as one of the Widow Mines did attack one of the probes going into the gas. So we'll see if if this is the lucky 3 times in a row here.
Yeah, we see there one Widow Mine making it to the main, the other one going down on the ramp. Okay, so we're losing 1 worker and another adept there. Not too much damage, but one of the Widow Mines making it out relatively unscathed.
Yeah, but he does see the fast robotics bay, and in fact, this is going to be a fast Warp Prism Colossus drop. Oh man, bringing it back to the old days.
Yeah. Now, I looking at the timing on this, actually, it looks like there's no way Dream would have seen the fact that the robotics bay was actually researching. He wouldn't be able to tell if it was thermal lance or the warp prism speed, or I guess observer speed is the third option. Here we go, and immediately that Colossus is going right into this warp prism that'll get little rocket boosters in just a few moments.
Yeah, actually, they're gonna bypass each other.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, this might actually be a bit scary. Luckily for him, he doesn't have stim yet, so I think he should be able to at least buy some time with these stalkers, but he might suffer quite the amount of damage here.
Yeah, not quite enough energy for a recall, just now getting up to 50 energy, but he starts to pull the warp prism home. But then decides better of it, sending it back into the main because the stalkers were able to clean up this drop.
Oh no!
Oh! And he will lose both of those. Ouch.
Oh man, just a miss might go there. And he's actually got the
Brave?
Oh,
yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I think we were thinking the same thing.
the Colossus that thought he could, trying to march across the map to avenge his fallen comrade.
Yeah.
Thinks better of it. All right, Stim and +1 finishing for Dream. And looks like a little bit of a push coming out. Zest will see it with this Observer, or at least see the Vikings. He hasn't seen... Okay, no, he does see the army with the second Observer.
All right, looks like one force will go down to the third base while these Viking squad go into the main base to possibly... Oh no, it's just retreating.
Yeah, I was with you. I thought that he was going to try to land the Vikings in the main or something, but no, he just kind of pokes his head in to see, all right, is there any crazy change in tech, anything going on? He has not yet seen that Twilight Council, so he doesn't know, but I'm pretty sure at this stage in the game, 7.5 minutes in, he knows that's probably coming down, if nothing else, than for the ability to start getting those advanced upgrades.
Yeah. And I love this. You look at the kind of the split, the army split of Zest. I love this. He's got one Colossus in one army group and another in another army group, and that allows him to defend into multiple places. But with this force coming down at the bottom, he's gonna commence his army together and should be able to defend as there's only a few units on the ground.
Yeah, the vision for Zest is amazing. These two Observers, just like allowing him to know, okay, I can keep my army split. All right, he's pushing here. Let me bring everything together. I really think that's kind of helping him out here.
Yeah.
and yeah, Dream's army just sitting right underneath it.
That is one per the Observer for sure.
Do have +1 armor finishing, so Terran will be up to 1-1, I believe, at this point, with Charge also finishing for our Protoss player.
Yeah, and as we get into the latter stages, it's going to be really important for Zest to start adding multiple splash damage units against Colossus, getting the High Templar with Storm, and possibly even adding some disruptors. I think it's hard to control in the army, but with someone with the micro of Zest, I think he is more than able to handle those three spell types at the same time.
For sure. I think this is a perfect time to start transitioning over to Storm. I mean, he's forced 8 Vikings out from Dream, and he just kind of like stops the 2 Colossus. He's like, all right, I'm just going to make some Immortals, start getting these disruptors, and have Storm. I think that's a really, really good decision.
All right, so we do see a kind of a bit of a squadron of armies coming to the left, bottom, and the top side. I think the one probe did scout the one in the bottom, but the one on the top is retreating back home. I think he was scouting. He did scout, I think, maybe some charge dot squad or something. Maybe he was worried about that, but it's right now parked at like around the 10 o'clock position there. So maybe it will come in as soon as the army. As soon as the engagement begins.
Mm-hmm. I'm still waiting. This one dropship with 5 Marines is sitting in the top right, just outside of range of all of Zest's stuff. I want to see, if Dream can manage, next time they have an engagement, just send that dropship in to do a little bit of damage. There's a cannon in one mineral line and 2 stalkers and a cannon in the other. So I don't know how much he can, but if he positions it right, maybe he can take out a Forge or the Twilight Council. Just use that somehow rather than have it just take up food, since he is now maxed. And actually, he's going to go ahead and throw it in because he's at 200. He decides this is the time where he can, trade off some of this food and replace it with better units.
Yeah, both of them actually doing some harass at the same time. The Charge Life Force does get 7 SCVs. The Marine, unfortunately, the 5 Marine medevac drop does not do any economic damage.
Yeah, they took down a cannon. That's about it. Oh, forcing a Storm out. Single Marine. This High Templar. And if those High Templar aren't careful, if they stay there, they're going to get picked off. A couple snipes and they're done. Oh, the EMP is what he elected to go for instead. And yeah, 2 free High Templar while this big fight happens at the bottom. Okay, Disruptor's just going to hit a Ghost.
Oh, wow. What a surround here.
Flank. These disruptors not shooting their little balls out, they're just kind of walking forward into the Marine Marauder. Chargelot's coming in from the side and some storms sneaking up here. But I think if we look at the army size, Dream just has too much. You know, while he's doing this, he's also taking his 4th base. And I think Zest is totally on the back foot. And I think he might have to tap out. I don't want to speak too soon, but just looking at the supply difference here, it's only getting bigger.
Yeah, not only is the quantity is in favor of Dream, but the quality is he's got 2/2 upgrades compared to the 1/1 of Zest, and Zest taps out, and Dream will take the lead 2-1.
Yeah. It was interesting. I think the surround, the flank coming in, Dream did a really good job of coordinating, orchestrating that attack.
For sure. And that was quite the decisive big engagement there. I feel like Zest just he had the correct army composition. He did have well, actually he did only have, I think he had only 2 Colossus. I wish he would have had 3 at least. But with that flank, that surround, that was quite deadly there. And as we get into this next game, it looks like Golden Wall will be our next map. And also, I'd like to give a little bit of a thank you, a shout out to our followers. We have JKT84 Work, Daju12, as well as Michaeler. Sorry if I butchered your name. Thank you all for the awesome following.
Yeah, thank you so much. We rely on our community and appreciate all the support that we get. I think we have everybody in the game. I see all 6 casters. Zest says he's ready to go. Dream says he's ready. So let's go ahead and get this started.
All right. And I want to get a few of your thoughts after we introduce our players on this interesting map.
Yeah, for sure. I think they took a lot of risks, tried changing things up a lot with this pool and this ladder pool. We'll talk about that in just a sec. Once we have our beautiful players introduced. All right, starting in the bottom right, representing Brave Star, we have our blue Terran player, Dream.
And spawning at the 8 o'clock position is the red Protoss from Raise Your Edge Gaming, and possibly the most handsome Korean pro gamer. It is Zest.
I do love his hair, like that kind of like just coppery color.
Yeah.
Big fan. Yeah, this is a really interesting map. I think, especially in Zerg, I primarily play Protoss, so I've seen a lot more in PvZ. But I think Terran, actually, because of the lift, can abuse this as well. The fact that you can mine out these back mineral patches and get some nice safe bases here. And if you really want to get sneaky, you can mine out your opponent's back and open up another attack route. Very interesting choice, the map designer. Plus, we have these gold walls as aptly, the map has been aptly named to represent these things. We have the 2 gold bases for each player that allow you to get into that little back area.
Yeah, I think I've seen a lot of Zergs get that kind of that as a natural or a third, as well as Terran players. So yeah, we'll see if either Zest or Dream decides to take that gold base. I think it'll probably favor Dream a bit because power units, I think they kind of rely heavily more on minerals and gas. But in the end, if you can mine out and secure it, then it's all plus there, or good for there or from there on.
Yeah, for sure. I will say it's really interesting because of how these gold bases are situated. I was watching some matches earlier. Alpha X was competing in a little clan war, and there was a little bit of back and forth where players were abusing the fact that you can just put your units on the other side of that mineral wall and just attack things from that side. And the defending player, if they don't have a warp prism or a medevac to get their units over, you can stay safe and just deny the mining from those bases. So I don't know if the players will end up utilizing those. I'm excited, and I hope they do, just because it is a unique feature of this map. But we'll have to see what happens.
Yeah, we do see the first adept shading in. Won't complete the shade as he did bypass the Reaper. And the Reaper is right now in the dark, just like desperately trying to see what is going on, what Zest actually going for. We've seen a nice kind of variety of builds from Zest. We've seen him gone Stargate, a proxy Stargate in fact. We've seen him gone for Colossus, Warp Prism speed drop. And now he is changing up once again and adding a Twilight opening with Blink.
Yeah, I really like that diversity, right? And he's showing that he can do all of these different kinds of builds, and making sure that Dream doesn't know what to expect, keeping him on his toes and making sure that he keeps him honest.
Yeah, and in the best of 9 series, kind of a long series like this, you definitely want to change it up a bit. Although, if you're innovation, you can just go for the same build over and over.
That is true. Yeah, if you got something down pat and it's working, don't broke. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, I think is the saying.
Exactly.
All right, so we do see once again this double mine drop coming over while this Reaper and Hellion come in, and they're actually going to go ahead and pick off a couple probes here. Nothing too crazy, but getting 2 probes and keeping all of your units alive, never something that a Terran player will complain about.
All right, the drop does commences, and look at that. Zest knows the timing of those Watermine drops. Got ready. His Blink stock is in position.
Nice, losing total of 2 workers here. Interesting, he is not elected to kill the other one. Okay, there he's going to go for it. But he's going to push across the map with these 4 stalkers. He does have Blink, and he's using the hallucination to blink in. So he's going to come from behind, come in, abusing those mineral walls here.
Oh man, this is 4. Yeah, notice he only saying 4 stalkers. The 4 stalkers is the magic number that one shots SCVs. So that's the magic number you want to harass with, and might even gets that add-on as well. So nicely done.
Nice. Only taking a little bit of hull damage on one of those stalkers. Very, very well done. And if he wants, he can come back later. He saw that Stim and Combat Shields are researching, but he's going to elect to come over. And I think, knowing that those upgrades are so vital, Dream has decided to keep his units back there to defend, and this has allowed. Okay, well, can't get quite too much. I was going to say it was going to allow Zest to get a little bit more damage here with those 4 stalkers, but 2 Marauders in a bunker. Turns out they're pretty strong.
And yeah, it looks like Zest can pretty much keep doing this, keep blinking back and forth, and it's going to be up to Dream to kind of guess where Zest Stalker Force is, and maybe possibly just like split his units, which he is currently doing, as he does have a nice little force position kind of around the ramp area just in case. But we do see a little bit of a marine drop here at the top. There are some forces for Zest parked at the dirt base, so he should be fine if he does respond in time.
Yeah, Combat Shield and Stim are done, with +1 finishing in just a sec. We see Concussive was started after Combat Shield, and he's going to try to hit 2 different places at once. He's got these medevacs at the bottom and the medevac at the top, but the bottom is going to get scouted by, well, I was going to say by the observers, but by this warp prism, unfortunately, for Zest. Here we go. We see that coming up at the top, and these charge lots are going to try to run in 1 worker, 2 workers. And okay, able to defend that pretty well. More dropships coming to the bottom, though.
Yeah, this is a quite interesting map where you know, behind the gold minerals and in front of the gold minerals, like certain engagements you gotta plan for. He might, Zest might actually want to go ahead and mine out some of these mineral patches so he can have access and get on top of these medevac drops.
Yeah, I mean, right now he can blink over, but his charge lots are left kind of stranded, unable to attack these things. So I think you're right. I think mining out those patches, you know, I think that each patch has 20, so you have to make 4 trips. But if he just grabs, you know, a handful of workers, you can make quick work of that, no problem.
Yeah,
Get an avenue open.
and I really like how Dream is kind of abusing this map, abusing the airspace, and making use of the mobility of these medevac drops. We do see that he is going to take the 5 o'clock position base, so the one behind. So none of these players, surprisingly, has decided to go for the gold yet.
Yeah, I think I mean the gold bases are pretty exposed. That might be a natural next location for Dream if he decides not to go for the base that's just north of his natural. Yeah, you know, we were talking about this earlier, and you just mine out that back, and sure enough, there's another base for you.
Yeah. Oh, actually, you know what? This, yeah, the I think one observer did get sniped off. This drop, this is kind of a doom drop scenario here, might actually commence. Although there are some units there, so it's gonna scare him away. I'm not sure if he should have or should not. It's hard to call.
Yeah, especially since Zest has this other attacking force on the other side of the map, and pretty much all of Dream's army. Well, I take that back. There's a fair number of units that just got produced that are coming out, so he should be able to hold this, especially if those mines get good shots off. Yeah. He's going to pick up, and I think he's going to try to flank those units with dropships here. And yeah, all of these units for Zest are probably going to get forfeited here.
Oh, and look at this. He is dropping right behind the stalkers, so...
Yeah, a little flank. Well, while all that was going on, though, we did have 11, 12, 13, a bunch of workers going down. The warp prism that got replaced has been warping in the back side here. 23 workers at this point down for Dream. So he's got to make something magical happen with this big push.
Oh, and he does. Look at those widow mines evaporating the charge lot force. Now the bulk of his army is blink stalkers, which is not what you want against a bio force. And oh man, pulling the probes, knowing that he has to hold or it's going to be over. He does not want to lose this nexus here. But oh man, only blink stalkers left over here. I'm not sure he can hold.
I think he realizes, seeing that Dream hasn't done anything, you know, 60 workers dead at this point. He knows that Dream is all in, and he's like, okay, I'm going to sacrifice the workers if I have to. I'm going to, you know, do anything necessary to hold the ramp at my main. He's got +3 coming down. So I think if he waits for that and then engages, he has a bit better of a chance. Continuing the massacre happening on the other side of the map, though. He's going to take that warp prism and get out. In terms of workers, we have 9 workers for Dream to the 38, but we don't want to underestimate mules here. And he's going to pick off that mule before getting out with the warp prism.
Alright, so Zest finally does spot the army. He might actually get on top of this. He has enough forces to clean this up if he wanted to. But Dream has got to be careful. Oh boy.
Yeah, the blink's back to allow those charge lots to get into the front. An aggressive blink here to get on top of those marauders. Oh, picks off 1 medevac, 2 medevacs. Both of them were empty, though, which is nice for Dream. Those other medevacs sitting back, tucked nicely away. And sure enough, okay, Zest is going to go ahead and take the gold at this point.
Yeah, I think he's crippled Dream enough that he should be safe. Although Dream is doing a really nice job trying to crawl his way back into the worker in the worker count, 20 to 37. Remember, he was behind. He was at 7 workers at one point after the harass.
Yeah. So I think you're right. Dream doing a good job to stay on top of his macro throughout all of this, try to rebuild those workers. Zest has decided he's not going to make any more probes, right? We don't see anything in production from either of these nexuses. I imagine he's probably just going to transfer all of these workers over to the gold and then just try to end it. Whereas Dream is thinking, okay, well, maybe I can slowly claw my way back in, as you were saying before.
Yeah. Oh, we do see a little bit of opening here at the middle mineral patches. And oh man, I think Zest is gonna be thirsty for that base all the way at the bottom, and has gone undetected. And oh man, he's even got a second Charter Force harassing the second base. And boom, the third base goes down.
I think this is just too much. I mean, the EMP is good. Marauders are pretty strong, and there's some really good SimCity here. So actually, these zealots getting caught here in a little bit of a gauntlet that they have to climb their way through. Slowly starting to level out. The hallucinated Colossus to scare off some of these workers. 24 or 5. And it looks like that's going to be the end of the worker damage, but resetting Dream back down to 9 workers while this is up at 40. He's warping in a ton of High Templar, turning them into Archons, recognizing that the Charge Lot Archon is going to be what he needs. But he's actually still not even dead here. I thought that he was going to get cleaned up, but there it is. I mean, either way, I think at that point, too many workers had been killed again. But yeah, really, really well done. I think, as you said, mining that patch out in the middle of the map, that little mineral wall, and then going in for that third base, really smart from Zest.
Yeah, and in the end, it wasn't the most efficient fight, but Zest, he just had too much, so it didn't even matter at that point. He was able to finally clean it up, and we have ourselves a tied series.
So there's only a few more maps in the pool, I believe. I don't think we've played. Let's see, what have we done so far? We've done Purity, we've done Everdream, Nightshade. I don't think we've seen Zen yet. Eternal is going to be there.
Yeah,
Ephemeron. I think Ephemeron, I don't think is in the pool. Simulacrum.
Oh,
Simulacrum.
Yeah, Simulacrum. Yeah.
I think is still in. But it looks like our next one's going to be Eternal.
Sweet.
Let me make sure I make that actually with the Game Heart mod.
All right. While you get that started, I just want to go ahead and give another shout out to one of our lovely sponsors, Devour. They make a variety of frozen foods. So basically, they have pre-prepared meals that you can basically throw into the microwave, cook it, and you're good to go. If you're like me, who is not the greatest cook or doesn't really know how to cook anything, you just buy a bunch of Devour meals, and you have yourselves, a meal, a dinner, breakfast, maybe even lunch to go. So yeah, check them out at devour-food.com and check out all their options, and yeah, give them a try.
All right, looks like we have all of the casters in so far. Still waiting on the players. Actually, I think Dream might have said that he was going to make it. I'm copy pasting all the Korean characters into Google Translate right now. Here we go. Okay, Dream is now in. And we'll see if Zest is able to climb in as well. I'll go ahead and make sure that I send him an invite to game.
All right, guys, remember there is a match arena link. Let's go actually check that out right now. Pull it up on screen here. We do see currently the total prize pool is at $99, but if you type into the coupon code into the chat, the AX Series 8 coupon code, that will contribute 50 cents for free. All you need to do is click on this sign in button. You can log in with your Battle.net, your Facebook, your Google, your YouTube, your Twitch, your Twitter, your Discord, or your Microsoft account. Log in and then click on the contribute button, enter the coupon code, and it'll have a contribute button, and that's all you need to do. Make sure to, during this time, these players are kind of taking their time to entertain us. So let's go ahead and give them thanks by helping them out.
Yeah, and thank you for everybody who's contributed so far. It looks like the prize pool is up to just shy of $100. So if a few more people hop in there, we can push it over into that triple-digit mark. But onto the game, we have spawning in the top right of Eternal Empire, representing Brave Star, our blue Terran player, once again, Dream.
And spawning at the bottom left, we have our pink Protoss player. It is from Raise Your Edge Gaming, Zest.
And I really like this. He doesn't do it every game, but I feel like most games, Zest goes for that pink color. And it's fun to see when the players kind of show off their personal style. Oh, yeah, I like the green or like the orange or something, right? One of the few ways outside of having skins that you can show off flair.
Yeah. What's your favorite color? What's your favorite skin?
I go for green if given the option.
Yeah, is it your favorite color or?
It is. For a little while, I had a friend who was like, "Oh, you should always go for teal when you can. That way you can hide units in mineral lines." I don't know if that ever actually gives anyone a competitive edge. I would be very surprised if that's anything. But actually, looking at this, I want to just comment. Zest is going for that Nexus before core this game. So we've talked about this a few times. But this time he's going to take that slightly greedier opening. I do like the wall that he has here on the right side of the base. So the Reaper can't get in, so he kind of makes a little Reaper wall there so that he only has to contain the area around the ramp. So very good building placement again from Zest.
Yeah, this is actually a pretty good series for Protoss, all the Protoss players out there, just to study the building placement in order to block off Reapers. I think that's going to be really helpful in your latter game. So yeah, just might want to copy this.
Yeah, for sure. I'm actually really excited that I've been able to not only be in these games, casting them with you, but just get to watch these games, because I'm currently Protoss versus Terran is one of the macro matchups that I'm trying to improve on the most. And so all these little tips and tricks are super helpful.
Yeah, and looks like we do have one pro pick off by this Reaper, but this Reaper does sacrifice itself as it wasn't able to quite jump there in time on the high ground. And this is going to give Zest the avenue to basically feel free to move across the map without worrying about any Reaper harass.
So it looks like Zest is going to go for this blink opening. I was talking to H-Jax, an Alpha X team member, about different PvT openings, and I actually really like, even though he's going for blink, the first unit he made was the Adept. A Stalker can also, of course, shoo away a Reaper, but the Adept lets you kind of get up here and see what's going on. I mean, here he got the body of the Adept all the way up, but you can send the Shade up there just to see what the Terran player is doing. So I do appreciate that and really like that even though he's going for blink, the first unit he cranks out is the Adept. It also gives you a little bit more gas, I guess, to start that Twilight Council, that 25 gas sooner.
Yeah, I think also, with the Adepts, it's just easier to scout compared to a Stalker. Stalker, you want to, in the early game, you want to keep it more at home in case there's a Hellion run by or something like that. And also, I think the Adepts, I believe they have a shorter queue time or creation time, so you can get that out quicker against the Reaper.
The Reaper, yeah, I think the build time is actually another really important note there.
All right, once again, we have a Widowmine drop by Dream. These past few games, these Widowmine drop hasn't been really too effective, as Zest has been really on top of it. I wish I was that good in defending against Widowmine drops.
Yeah, if I could count the number of times that I've lost my entire middle line to one or two Widow Mines it would be. Oh, oh, actually, that's an important thing to note there. Unfortunately, the second Widow Mine shot didn't go off, and so when it triggered there and shot the Stalkers, he killed off the Observer from Zest.
Yeah, I think it's kind of a pent up. With all the the lucky Widow Mines hits that Zest has, it's kind of like karma. You get lucky at a certain point. You gotta get bad luck at after a series of good luck scenarios.
Yeah, for sure. Law of averages or something. You do it enough times, everything will break even. Yeah, for sure. This one Marine gonna casually walk away from the 4 Stalkers. Waiting to see if we see another hallucinated Phoenix or something come over to allow these Stalkers in. We don't have any. There's 2 sentries on the map. Neither of them have quite enough energy for that. And because we lost that first Observer, these Stalkers aren't going to be able to get in and do any damage.
Yeah, I think he would have liked to blink up, although there is a nice positioning by Dream on the high ground. And yeah, Stim and Combat Shield about to finish, so we might actually see an attack coming here out for Dream. There is no dirt base yet for Dream. He's got the actually, you know what? All the upgrades are just lining up: the Stim, the Combat Shield, as well as +1. So I'm pretty sure Dream would want to go ahead and put some pressure on Zest. Zest, on the other hand, he's got his dirt base like almost fully saturated.
Yeah, I think Dream has done a really good job. I think maybe not every game, but he's been doing the same build for at least the past couple of games, right? He times that and gets that +1 attack, Stim, and Combat Shield. We'll probably see Concussive Shell start in not too long, as well as, we already have the +1 armor going. And yeah, he pushes out while he takes his third, so being aggressive on the map, allowing himself to safely take that third base. There's a medevac just kind of hovering here. I think he's going to wait until the push comes, and then here it goes, boosting in. Oh, it's the Blink Stalkers, seeing it. Oh, not quite getting the kill on the medevac. Very well done by Zest, but good job of Dream seeing those Stalkers walking up and immediately boosting out.
Yeah, but now the engagement commences at the natural base. There's a nice little flank by Zest. Get some nice force fields. And these Immortals actually doing work on these Immortals, and this is going to force Dream to fly back and retreat. Although Dream at the same time was able to kind of pick off the spotter pylon there at the bottom area, but I think all in all, I think Zest should be satisfied with that defense.
Yeah, in terms of like how that fight went, I think that very much favored Zest. That force field was really good in terms of keeping a lot of the army on the back, outside of range, while the Immortals and Stalkers picked down the few Marauders that were coming at him. Supply's pretty close here. Zest is up in workers, and you typically see that in PvT. Protosses can chrono out some of those workers. But the army is actually favoring Dream a little bit. It's mostly bio, nothing too high tech. He does have some upgrades for them. But with these Colossus and the Immortals here, I think Zest should be able to hold this. They'll kind of come down to the shots from the mines.
Yeah, looking good so far. These Colossus doing some nice splash damage on these bio units. I was a little bit afraid for Zest during that engagement because he didn't have any really much force field energy to, if the Dream decided to get on top of the Colossus, he didn't have any force field to prevent that and block it. But I think with the ground force, the rest of the ground force, he was okay to move forward with the attack. And now it's this time Zest is going for the counterattack. And let's see, by the time he does, the Dermal Lance will be done, so that will be a nice... Oh, this Colossus. Oh, nice save there.
Yeah, again, picked up by that Prism. Turns out Marauders aren't very good at looking up. Their arms are a little bit too heavy. They're a little too chubby. Can't quite look high enough to shoot down those warp prisms. But there are some Vikings getting thrown into the mix here, and if we look at the production, we have those Vikings and some Ghosts coming out. So we'll see if some EMPs will come help Dream fend off this force. But as it stands, this is a really scary Protoss army.
Oh, but Zest.
Oh, the force field there.
Ooh. What a great force field.
Yeah, Dream doing a good job just lifting up the command center to allow the bio to run through. But these charge lots should be able to clean a lot of this stuff up. Great positioning behind that gas geyser, but I think it's going to be too much.
Yeah, there's just too much for Zest on the ground. Even though the Colossus has been picked off, all the SCVs died. So even if Zest decides to retreat right now, I think yeah, he'll be in a pretty comfortable position.
Yeah, I mean, while this is going on, Zest is taking his 4th base. He's continuing to macro and make these units. He's got this front warp prism, and he's going to load 4 zealots into it. I think he might try to do a little multi-prong attack here. Got to be careful he doesn't lose this prism to these Vikings, though.
Oh man, that one Marine.
Oh, almost seeing it.
Yeah. And now this main base is undefended. There's no units here. In fact, all the units are at the 3rd base for Dream.
Couple Marines and Marauders going to draw aggro from the Zealots. Oh, and yeah, the recall. Quick recall by Zest to pull that Warp Prism home. We've got +3 attack coming out. Shield upgrade started, as well as 2 disruptors on the way. So once again, Zest doing a good job of transitioning his AoE. You start off with the Colossus, they make Vikings, then you make some Templar, and then they go to Ghosts. So kind of making sure to go around. He actually, now that I'm saying that, I think he actually skipped the Templar. So Dream trying to go for the EMP to counter Templar first, but our little round balls of death coming out to give the support to the army.
Oh man, another charge lot warp into the main base. That warp prism speed has definitely helped in here. Was able to fly back into the main base so quickly. But there is another skirmish here at Zest's side of the base. And there is a little bit of a concave that Dream has set up himself up. And oh no, those...
Oh, his own Zealots!
Oh man.
That's not what you want to have happen as the Protoss player.
That might have cost him the game. And now, I mean, there is some good damage here at the Dream side of in the Dream's main base, as these charge lot kind of just basically is on top of all the production. Might even get this engineering bay that's researching this upgrade. But Zest, his main base is now under siege, and he's got to retreat with these stalkers and these disruptors. He's got to make sure to yeah. Oh, this disruptor. Oh, nice lift off there. But I think he should have enough now.
Nice. It all comes down to how well the stalkers can pick off the units in medevacs. Yeah. GG. Zest takes game 5.
Yeah, and that was quite scary moment there. I mean, we've been all there, you know, just disrupting our own units.
Yeah, of course. Like both you and I like felt that pang of, oh, I've done that when all of the Zealots died to the one disruptor shot. But yeah. It turns out he still had a little bit in the bank that he could spend to make more units. Okay, our next map is going to be Simulacrum. So do you say Simulacrum, Simulacrum?
I pronounce it as Simulacrum.
Okay.
Although I've heard.
Yeah, I've heard the entire gambit.
Yeah, I mean, you know, because call it Simulacrum, maybe even Sim City. You know,
Sim City. Let's just call it Sim, and that'll it's easy. No one can correct us. All right, we're waiting on, I think, one more. Here we go. All right, looks like Dream is ready. I'm assuming that's both of the players. Oh, restroom. So we're gonna wait for Zest.
All right, while we wait for Zest, we got a few followers. Thank you for all the follows. Let's give a. Oh man, this is a lot of weird looking names that I'm gonna butcher their pronunciation. So I'm just gonna say thank you all for the follow. Appreciate it. And remember, if you want to help out, support the players, there is a Matcherino page here set up for this this event. So all you have to do is go into the Matcherino link, type in the coupon code, and we have 50 cents donated to the Aurora prize pool for free. I've seen extra 50 cents here have been donated since the last time we checked it out. And if you want to actually help further the prize pool, you can do some sponsor quests, these Matcherino quests. You can add additional funds by following these sponsors. And then if you want to actually get some Alpha X gears, you can get some jerseys here, buy some jerseys, even get the replay pack, this entire replay pack, all for $2. So if you want to study Zest's replays or Dream's replays, it could be all yours for $2.
Yeah, and for those of you who are joining the stream a little bit later, these have been really good games, very back and forth by both players. As shown by the results, I think we're at 3-2 at this point in favor of Zest. So both of these players showing their skill, and if you are a Terran or Protoss, I highly recommend taking a look at these games and figuring out how to incorporate some of that play into your own.
Definitely. And looks like Zest is finally back from his restroom break.
Okay, cool. Looks like both players are ready, so we will hop into this next game on Sim City, we'll call it.
All right.
Well, starting in the bottom right as our blue Brave Star Terran, we have Dream.
And spawning at the top left, we have our pink Protoss. From Raise Your Edge Gaming, it is Zest.
So it's interesting, in terms of like how Zest has been walling. We've talked about how he's blocking some of these like Reaper spots. There's like an area in the back where I believe the Reapers can hop up. He chooses not to block that one, instead just protecting his main base, putting the gateway and the pylon near his nexus.
Yeah, that wall off there at the ramp area, that kind of the backside, is quite harder to wall off compared to other maps. So the best way to wall off here is just to block off any kind of pathway openings from the right side of Zest's base. So he is he's planting a pylon there, and he's probably gonna block down the cybernetic between the edge of the wall and that pylon there, just to complete the wall off.
Yeah, and you called it. There goes down once again. Yeah, keeping the Reapers that are coming in from skirting behind. While we were talking about that, Zest got a little cheeky here, almost getting a kill on one of these SCVs. It's sitting in the middle line, quite red, and he's sitting here kind of just delaying the command center. Of course, we do see it come down.
Yep, Reaper opening for Dream, and we'll see if he decides to go for the 1-1-1 build. Maybe go for that Widow Mine drop once again, but again, that Widow Mine, these Widow Mine drops has not really panned out, so I'm not sure if Dream may want to go ahead and change it up a bit. We seen on the other hand, Zest has been changing it up quite a lot. So we'll see if he pulls out another build out of the hat, or if he decides to repeat one of his previous builds. But ooh, almost got that Reaper there. Got to be careful.
Like that was beautiful timing by Zest. It's almost like, you know, he's played this and practiced it a few times. Yeah, just getting the Adept right there to shoo away that Reaper.
Yeah, I think by now, I think Zest has played like a billion games.
That's probably an appropriate number. Very representative. He is going to see the reactor. I don't think he saw the factory quite yet, but he probably assumes that it's coming at this point.
Yep, looking at the vision of Zest, has not spotted the factory, as that factory is quite behind the barracks. So will be possibly. Oh, actually, he's adding a second barrack, so it looks like it's going to be a bio build once again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've got the mines coming out and the Stargate going down, so I'm betting we'll see that 2 mine drop. But Zest is getting Blink once again, so we'll see if he can kind of bounce those out with the Blink Stalkers.
Yeah, I like this decision by both players, because this map is quite huge. And oh wait, hold that dot. Yeah, we got the snipe on that probe, so further delaying the third Nexus. So nice and well done there by Dream. Oh my god, is he gonna... Oh.
Almost. Fortunately, I think the Hellion would have needed to get a third shot there to kill the probe. But pretty good job there by Dream, just killing that first probe and delaying the Nexus a little bit.
Yeah, and now we have the 2 Widowmine drop once again commencing for Dream. Let's see if he can get a bit more damage this time around, but there is a nice kind of vision area. We got the pylon on the back, the third Nexus as well. There's a good amount of vision for Zest to spot that Widowmine drop.
Mm-hmm.
And
we'll have to see.
Blink is just finished, so looks like this Widowmine drop will actually, he's gonna save it till the probes saturate the third base. So, I guess he doesn't want to take the chance.
Yeah. I mean, you know, at this point, maybe he's banking on the fact that he's been doing this push every single time, so Dream kind of has a feel for the timing of it. He looks down and sees like, okay, 5 minutes game time. That's when the 2 Widow Mines are going to show up. And if he delays a little bit, perhaps he can catch Zest a little bit off guard. Stalker Force coming across the middle here, and it's going to be able to poke. We'll see if he tries to go past this bunker or if he just kind of powers through it.
I think he's gonna break it. Oh wow, he just saved it. And we do see the Widowmine commencing right when this engagement is happening. This time around, Zest does not respond in time. Another Widowmine into the Natro. And oh no. Ooh.
Okay, he does. Yeah, he does do a good job of pulling that back. Oh, and he gets both of them picked up, saving both of them this time.
Oh, nice.
At least for now. We'll see if the medevac can escape with its life.
All right, second attempt to break this bunker. This time around, I think he should have it. Yep, there we go.
Now these units are going to get caught, and there's a flank coming down from Dream. So these Stalkers are going to have to figure out the best way to blink out and save their lives, or if they're going to just try to get as many worker kills as possible. Going for the recall. He's going to get 3 of them home. That medevac's still kind of sitting there with the 2 mines in it, just outside of reach of Stalkers on either side. We'll see, perhaps he'll play with it once he gets the push at the front going.
Yeah, that will allow him to kind of distract Zest, make him focus on that and lose track of the mini-map. And Zest does spot the army move out. We'll poke in with the Blink Stalkers. And we do see that the medevac in the back with 2 of them are still there.
All right, we'll see. Okay, first mine not doing too much. Okay, most of the Zealots are cleared out now, but there's a lot of Immortals here to deal with this Marauder-heavy force here.
And that Widow Mine does. He's gonna get out once again with those Widow Mines.
Oh man, getting 5 more workers. Those Widow Mines putting in their work.
Oh man, nice kiting there. Kills all the charge lot in the front lines.
Mm-hmm. And he sees the little glimmery hover on the screen, knows to scan and kill the observer that is sitting there.
Yeah, and Dream has set himself in a pretty good spot. I mean, he's up 58 to 53 workers, and that is never good when you're a Protoss when the Terran has more workers than you, because that does not count the mules. And then, of course, the army supply is heavily in favor of Dream as well. 20 supply ahead. He's got his upgrade running. He's got his dirt base almost saturated, fully saturated. At least in the mineral lines, he is fully saturated. But here we go. Dream's going for another attack. Nice blink, Michael there.
Yeah, they're just going to let him snipe those 2 Widow Mines that are down there. Oh, and this Warp Prism, is it going to get caught? Ooh, abusing the map a little bit there to try to save itself. If we take a look at the income advantage tab here, it's actually heavily in favor of Dream at this point. And you can kind of see that reflected in the supply. You know, Dream is up 30 food at this point. There was a little bit of a spike that's most likely from mules getting called down at that new base. But Zest has got to figure out if he needs to push or take a 4th base, because Dream is setting up his 4th, and if Zest doesn't respond, he is going to fall behind.
Yeah, look at this. This Dream is like so frantic about this War Prism that he's got his whole army position at the top. He's so scared that this War Prism is going to fly into his third. But unfortunately for him, he does finally scan the army and sees the War Prism is on top of it.
Yeah, sitting there safely at home. For players who aren't as familiar, Zest has done a really good job of kind of protecting his High Templar by loading them into this Warp Prism. So that means if Dream gets a nice EMP off on the entire army, those units inside of the Warp Prism are protected. And we do see some of those ghosts coming out, and the upgrade for the enhanced shockwaves, the larger EMP size, is just about done.
Yeah, that's going to be scary for Zest. I mean, this is a 2 upgrade. Oh, actually, there's going to be a substantial upgrade lead for Dream. It's going to make his army a lot bulkier, and because he's got the bio units, that means the upgrades are even more effective, and there are more units. And here we go. Oh, nice storm there, but these Widow Mines get some nice pot shots off.
There's one more storm sitting here. Okay. There's still a lot of Immortals, but that Bio Army is just kind of sitting there crushing through, and with more EMPs on the way and the Widow Mines refreshing. Okay, actually turns out Immortals are a good unit.
Oh, but yeah, I mean, I think the nice concave area. Oh man.
I don't know if you're looking at the same thing I am, but 6 more workers go down in both of those mines, still alive.
Yeah, these
highest return on investment Widow Mines ever.
If this game ends in Dream win, then you can call these the MVP Widow Mines, as well as the medevac.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to take a look at this game later to see how many workers. It's not a whole bunch every time. Okay, we do have another fight coming down here. A lot of EMPs coming out, and not very many units here. Chargelot's getting up into the bio, and some more Immortals showing up.
Oh man, that might have been a preemptive blink there, but GG. Zest just doesn't have quite enough to the hold. And Dream once again ties up the series 3-3. We have such an amazing series on our hands. And that means that we only have one more map left to go before the map resets.
I think Zen might be the last map.
Yep.
Is that all right? I will go ahead and create that.
Reality in the chat saying Snoopy and F equals MA casting. Combined IQ of 700. M on the
Thank you. Thank you, Reality. We certainly appreciate that vote of confidence.
Let me send you a heart right there.
Oh yeah, for sure. Cool. Okay, looks like we're waiting on. We need you to climb in here, as well as we're still waiting on Zest.
All right, I'm in. I am ready to face stream. Oh no.
You got him. You got him. Put me in, coach. I'll go ahead and send Zest an invite to the game directly. It looks like Dream is rearing, chomping at the bit, ready to take this Game 7 down.
Oh yeah, this is a critical part of the series. I mean, both of them are tied 3-3. If whoever wins this next game will be one game away from winning this entire series, and we'll get the bulk of the prize pool. So definitely an important game to win.
And I do appreciate those of you who are out there who went in and contributed. We have broken $100 here, so thank you so much for helping us bring a prize pool to these players. You know, in times like these, it's great to be able to compensate them and reward them. Now that we are in this game, let's go ahead and take a look. We have our bottom left blue player here, sporting the Terran race, representing Bravestar Gaming. It is Dream.
And spawning at the top right, we have our pink Protoss from Raise Your Edge Gaming. It is Zest.
All right, Game 7. Do you think these players just can continue playing it standard? We haven't seen any crazy cheese. We saw some proxy Stargate actually out of Zest a little bit. And yeah, no, it looks like both players are actually going to keep this last game pretty standard as well.
Yeah, I find like this map usually tends to go into the kind of the long game for some reason. I'm not sure why. Maybe it's because these bases are quite easy to get. At least the first 3 bases are quite easy to get, so they kind of tend to go to the long game. And yeah, so far no cheeses or no proxies, so it's looking like it's going to head into that same direction.
Yeah, so this map was in the pool before. They made some minor changes. I don't think anything that really affects this matchup too much. You know, some things, they moved the ramp that goes from the natural base down to that open area in the middle, and a couple other things. But overall, these players have played probably a lot of games on this map.
Yeah, and also it's important to note that the mineral patches at the ramp area, the natural ramp area, that is going to play in an important part in making sure that either that ramp is closed, that opening is closed, or you mine it out to get access to the other lower base area if you decide to expand towards that. And we do see the supply depot will be plotted down in order to block any potential adept shading.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a really important note, and great point bringing that up. He does wait for the Reaper to get out before dropping it. That way the Reaper can get across the map that much faster. And yeah.
Yeah, now this is one of the maps where it's really hard to actually wall off against Reapers. There's just like more than 2 or 3 openings. We have the one in the back area with the ramp. We have the one near the rock and the natural, and then we have the one in the near that little tower area. So just a lot of areas to cover to make sure that the Reaper doesn't jump in.
And sure enough, here comes the Reaper. He's probably going to get one probe before ducking out. Oh, he's going to get greedy, try to go for a second one. He's going to try to get the scout off with the stalker on the high ground. Ooh. Oh, amazing control from Dream, saving the Reaper. Really good job. He doesn't quite get inside to see the Twilight Council that is coming down from Zest. But good job of keeping the Reaper alive and picking off 2 workers.
Yeah, I mean, how annoying is that for Zest? It's like someone just came into your house, robbed it, and you let him go. I'm going to poke in here with the Adept. Well, I thought the Adept was going to shoot it away, but he's going to sack these units, try to get another 2, almost a third worker here. Zest is just going to, send that probe out. He's like, you know what? He's got no health. I'm going to send him to go make a new Nexus. Try and stop me. Yeah, and looks like Dream this time around. Once again, going for that 2 Widow Mine drop. He did get some nice harass done. Got 4 total workers early on, and he's going to go ahead and try to at least double it up or more. But once again, nice spotters here by Zest.
And Blink is done, so those Stalkers are going to be able to jump around and pick that thing off if it tries to do anything too sneaky. Make an hallucinated Phoenix to go scout what's going on from Dream. At this point, I think he's probably thinking, okay, this looks exactly like everything that Dream has done thus far, but doesn't want to get surprised.
Oh, actually we have a little bit of change up here. We have 2 forges being plotted down. So I think in the past few games, Zest has been kind of quite lagging in terms of the upgrades, as these Widow Mines, once again, does not get too much done. Although it might get actually one nice, nice micro there by Zest. But as I was saying, we've seen in the past few games where Dream has been quite ahead in the upgrade. Zest has been lagging on that. So this time around, he's going to actually plot down 2 forges and start researching them. So keeping up on the upgrade and possibly getting ahead in that way.
He's putting down a lot of gateways right now. I'm thinking he might try to go for a 1-1 timing push or something. He does have these bases, so he'll be able to start producing on them. But producing a lot of units. Charge is coming out, and we got these Stalkers, Blink Stalkers, making their way across the map to try to do a little bit of harass, see if he can cancel a 3rd base, anything like that. Yeah,
and Dream is actually going for the same build here. The 3 racks with the upgrades all kind of coming up in time. Finishing at the same time. And he's going to start moving out, and we'll be greeted by these Blink Stalkers.
At least I thought we had Blink. Perhaps not. Oh, there it is. Okay. He's trying to kite and do a few more shots. Getting a little dicey for that one Stalker, walking away with 10 health, but it's okay. He can give his life for ire.
He's kind of on the edge of death, making sure just right when he dies, he jumps back out and into life. Here we go. Looks like Charta is done. Oh, +1/1 is almost done, so he might want to wait for that before attacking. And he's just not quite done yet. And there we go. The upgrades has finished. And here he goes. He's going to go ahead and try to engage here. Widowman's getting some nice shots on those charge lot, though. But can he hold?
I think with the shield battery here, the Blink Stalkers, he should have more than enough. This mine going in, interesting positioning on the high ground there.
Jesus, look at that reaction time by Zest.
Yeah, phenomenal. Again, just kind of leaving this warp prism there, making sure that he can poke in again later, get another 1 or 2 workers here and there.
The thing I'm a little bit afraid here for Zest is the bulk of his army is only in Blink Stalkers, which Yeah, they can. They're good at sniping, like medevacs here and there, maybe some nice micro, but in a straight up fight, they're not the greatest. So he's gonna definitely needs to get some charge lot added in there, maybe some higher tech splash damage units as well.
Yeah, we still don't see a Robo or a Twilight Council from Zest yet. We got a little Zealot run by here, though, picking off 6, maybe 7 workers. Only 6.
Might actually take down these 2 Marauders, and they do.
Nice.
All
Mine
right.
going off, getting 1 more.
Oh, just missed that.
It was just in the top. It was exactly what we saw before, where he went in, dropped it right next to the pylon. Zest warping in a Zealot there, a little late. Again, nothing too crazy. Zest's reaction time, watching the minimap and just pulling those units out immediately is he's been very on point with that.
Yeah, and we do see another 3 Zealot run by. He did good damage there with those charge lot. Got 6 worker kills, but Dream still ahead. He's up 10 workers. So Zest will definitely have to make use of these blink stalkers, make use of these charge lot run bys to kind of even up the worker count.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we can take a look at the income advantage tab once again, and Zest has been up and down a little bit here, but the past little while it's been favoring Dream quite heavily.
Yeah, we do see finally that Zest has added the robotics facility, maybe possibly looking to disruptors or Colossus. I'm thinking maybe it'll be best for disruptors because his army is quite behind. I'm not sure if Dream will allow him to tech up into or make enough Colossus. And this map has a lot of wide open spaces, so it kind of if they engage in the middle, Dream can kind of split his army and mitigate some of the splash damage of the Colossus.
Yeah, so we do have +3 armors just about done. We're starting up shields. No +3 attack yet from Zest. Deciding instead to go for the shield upgrade as he throws down this Twilight or this Templar Archives. Oh, here comes the mine one more time. Is it gonna?
Oh,
Nope, doesn't
just
get
barely.
anything this time.
Oh, might get 1 probe.
Okay, yeah, gets 1. That was about what happened last time as well. Okay,
Oh,
we do
man.
see that robotics bay coming down finally for Zest.
Oh yeah, but the move out from Dream here, and this is quite the force.
Yeah, I mean it's a lot of zealots, but I think you're right. There's quite a bit of bio there and a lot of widow mines. We're looking at 7 widow mines coming here, plus the 6 ghosts mixed in with the army.
Oh, actually, Zest is going to opt for the base trade here, knowing that he can't really fight straight up against that Bao army. I think this is
really interesting.
Yeah, I think this is probably the best decision he could have asked for.
Yeah, he's pulling those workers. He can always recall. Once he does, hopefully lethal damage. I think in his mind, he'll be able to recall home into his main. No Colossus will come down as soon as the push is coming. I think he canceled the extra Robo Bay and the extra robotics facility. The liftoff is coming. We see the mass migration of barracks and command centers. The planetary fortress gonna finish, but these charge lots are gonna be able to power it down. We should mention, this is the last. Oh no, this is not the. Or yeah, this is game. It's game 7.
So yeah, after this, the map pool resets, but I don't.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay. So it looks like Zest was able to pull out a lot of his pros. We'll expand towards the 10 o'clock base. All right. Let's see how this all shaped up. I think Zest all of a sudden, I feel like he's in the better position. He got the blink stalkers to kind of snipe or pick off some units. He's got more probes, 18 to 3 workers. And wow, he's throwing
Well,
mass cannons here. Oh no, shield batteries actually.
Yeah, at this point, I mean, Dream does have enough money to throw down a Nexus or a command center if he wants, and he has those 3 workers. I don't think that's going to be the best option for him, though. I think he's just got to go try to kill Zest right now.
Yeah, I think that's his only hope right now. Oh, nice pick off. Another medevac going down. He can't lose. I mean, in games like this where you're base trading, every unit matter.
Now, we should note that despite having a Nexus, there are no production structures for Zest. So he's been completely reset. He has to make a gateway, and then maybe he will be able to start making Zealots. But the units that these players have are the units that they are going to use for this fight. I think if he fights next to the shield batteries, though, he should be fine.
Yeah, that is a lot of shield battery. Holy cap, what a shield battery wall. Although that actually blocks some of these charge lot from engaging. Oh my god, so many Widow Mines going on top of those charge lot. A lot of these stalkers are hitting barracks instead of the army. Pros being pulled. Can Dream turn this around? And I think he has it.
I think he has. I mean, it's slowly going down, but there's no army left from Zest. And yeah, fighting outside of the range of those shield batteries, I think, was a huge mistake. Dream picking up Game 7.
Oh my god. What a turnaround. And
I did not expect that. Yeah.
Yeah. Oof. And I flew him in 219 in the chat saying the barracks won the game. Yeah, in a sense they did. It did.
Yeah, no, really well played by Dream, pulling that out at the end. Lifting up the bases and going for the kill. It's gonna make it happen. All right, we are waiting on the players. At this point, who picks the next map? Ever. Zest is picking Ever. Yeah, okay. So Everdream creating that. Ba-ba-bum.
All right, and before we get into this next game, let's do one last shout out to F-Bomb. So basically, F-Bomb, there are a line of low carbs, high fat foods to help you live a healthier life. Who wouldn't want that? And yeah, they research, they test, and they taste and source the highest quality ingredients, putting them into custom made packages. And thanks to F-Bomb and their products and their unique packaging, finding tasty high quality fat options at home or on the go is no longer a challenge. Whether you're at work or at the gym or traveling the world, you will be wanting to sport F-Bombs.
All right, players are both ready, so we're going to go ahead and start this. Moving into game number 8, can Zest take this to a game 9, or will Dream scoop it up? We'll find out shortly.
Yeah, and you know what? While we get this game loaded up, I'd like to talk about basically the history of Zest. So back in the day, there was at one point where, actually, you know what? Let's talk about it after we introduce our players.
All right. Well, spawning in the bottom left, we do have our blue Terran player representing Brave Star Gaming. It is Dream.
And spawning at the top right, we have the red Protoss player from Rager Ed Gaming, looking to tie up the series and push it to a 9th match. Can he do it? It is Zest.
So you're starting to talk a little bit about the history of these two players.
Well, yeah, I was talking about basically the history of Zest, where I think back in the day at one point he was considered the best Protoss in the world. I think it was back in the heydays where he was winning. He won Code S, GSL, and it was a few years. I think his results kind of slowed down, and then stats started gaining results, kind of ascending, and then Stats was then considered the best Protoss in the world, or at least widely considered the best Protoss in the world. And then all of a sudden, I think at the start here of 2020, Stats hasn't been getting some good results as of late, but then Zest, on the other hand, he started to ascend. He's got into the finals of the IEM tournament, and then I think he also had a decent showing at GSL Super Tournament. So I mean, he's currently ranked number 2 in the ESL Pro Tour rankings. So he's definitely having a great start to the year of 2020, and possibly can reclaim the title of the best Protoss in the world.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I just kind of took a look at this Zest when we look at the most recent things. There's Home Story Cup in November last year. He was top 4, got knocked out by Cyril, who's if you're going to lose to someone, Cyril's a reasonable opponent to lose. But actually, before we keep talking about that, let's talk about this bunker. What's going down here, huh?
It doesn't get spotted by the probe.
Yeah, if we take a look at Zest Vision, he doesn't see it, and it's going to finish, and this Reaper is going to be able to just climb on in. And now, obviously, it has been seen. This is going to be a little bit of a problem here.
Yeah, I mean, it's not detrimental, but it will delay the mining of the second base, and it will force him to plot down a shield battery.
Yeah, like you said, this isn't game ending or anything, but it's certainly frustrating for Zest. He can produce workers, but he can't really mine off of anything except for maybe 1 or 2 patches on the far side there.
Oh, look at that
Cheeky little worker. He's going to salvage it, and he's going to get all that money back, and Reaper's going to get in, get 1, maybe 2 more workers on top of that. So once again, nothing game ending, but still very frustrating for Zest.
Yeah, for sure. It really delays the mining, as well as losing those 2 probes. Not the greatest, but looks like Zest will once again head into the blink play here, while Dream is going to bunker up, hold down, and once again go for that 2 Widow Mine medevac drop.
Yeah. I think it is important to note that Zest is getting his robo much earlier this game. Last game we saw that it wasn't until he was already well established at his 3rd that he started that robotics facility, and here we see it coming down right after the Twilight Council.
Yeah, I remember the first round at the first go at this map, Zest made really good use of those observers. They were able to spot a lot of the movement of Dream, so I think that's exactly what you want to go for. Just make sure to get as much vision as possible, as this is quite the large map and no watchtower to prevent to grant him any additional vision.
Interesting, trying to walk 1 mine into the natural while the medevac is boosting around, distracting the others. But Zest is not going to fall for it, keeping units in both locations to protect himself.
I would have definitely fell for it.
Yeah. I would have just not noticed it, and they would have gone to both my mineral lines, and I would have lost both. So
yeah, that's why I'm not a pro player.
Exactly. Yeah, there's a reason that we are casting these players, and it's not the other way around.
Exactly. Oh man.
Okay, we see another gateway, a couple gateways getting added on here. As well as the 1 forge. We were talking about last game how we went for the double forge for those fast upgrades. I don't know if this is based on how that game went, or if it's just he's getting kind of into his groove again, what he was doing before, but going back to the original kind of build that he was going with.
Yep, he's going to throw down some additional 5 gateways for a total of 6 or. But yeah, 6 total gateways.
Oh, adding on a couple more even. Wow. So we're up to 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 gateways at this point. Now he does have 3 bases, so he can produce off this. It's not like okay he's going to go into super crazy attack mode or something. But I think that does indicate that we're not going to see any other kinds of production structures, right? We're not seeing the Stargate or something else crazy popping out.
Yeah, and that's gonna be really important because there is a push moving out. He definitely want to start warping in those units to defend. There is no third command center, so okay, there he goes. Finally lost down the third. But if Zest holds this, I mean, his third is pretty good to go. So I think, yeah, as long as he holds this, he should be in fairly good shape.
Yeah. If he can force field and cut that army in half, oh, not quite. The sentry is being a little bit slow here. Doing a good job of kind of picking up a couple of those units. Great force field so far.
Oh, but the Widow Mine drop at the third base. Nice reaction time.
Okay, those Widow Mines are only going to get 2, but they are going to get picked up and taken out. While the fight continues at the front of the natural.
All right, some additional warps in though that should be able to help him defend against this. But there's still 2 Widow Mines. Oh, nice lift off there, unburrowing the Widow Mine so it doesn't activate.
Yeah, I think it was a really good job of, oh, the Widow Mines hitting a couple of the sentries there. That was unfortunate for Zest, very fortunate for Dream, because now there's not very much force field energy left.
All right, and the Widow Mine once again going into the third base.
Good blink dodge
okay.
there.
Oh, I thought he was going to send all his probes there.
Probes back, yeah. But while that's happening, because the armor got pulled out of the way, Dream is going to kind of push in here. At this point, though, I think Zest has pretty much cleaned this up. I don't think Dream can really hang in here anymore.
Yeah, he knows it. He's backing off. And so far, so good defense there by Zest. Was able to suffer a minimal amount of damage to those Widow Mines, as well as able to push back the main force of Dream. But still not over yet. Is the supply is overall supply is still even. Army supply is still in favor of Zest. But the upgrades are in favor of Dream. So Zest has the quantity advantage in terms of army, while Dream has the quality advantage.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see, at this point in time, we've got 3 Immortals here. Great to see a couple more of those get cranked out just because Dream has been favoring this Marauder Widow Mine kind of composition. Warp Prism going to sneak right past the army, undetected.
Oh man, and this is one of the reasons why it's kind of tough sometimes to get this third base, because this area is just really clumped or really closed off. But he will finally break free. But oh man, suffers a lot of damage to his charge light force, to those Widow Mines, while he is dropping into the main base of Dream at the same time. Okay, I think Zest is finally turning this around. He hasn't quite gotten any worker kills yet, but he at least has defended against this push.
Yeah, he stopped the mining for a little while, and then he's got a strong enough force here. Well, okay, as the Ghosts and more Marauders come running down the ramp, I think he does the wise thing and starts pulling back, sacrificing this one Immortal. Warp Prism's going to poke back into the base here, but there's a Viking there trying to shoot it out.
Oh, but not quite fast enough. The charge light does finish. There also was a kind of 3 charge light force at the northeast side. Oh, these Widow Mines get on top of these charge light, and we'll clean them up. SCVs suffer a few damages, but 8 total workers killed there by Zest.
And I think that's something that Zest did kind of need to do. I mean, we look right now, and they're tied in the worker count, which you mentioned I think a couple games ago is never the position Protoss player wants to be in. You want to be up in workers because Terran has mules. That being said, Zest is starting to take his 4th base. He's trying to do all the important macro things and make another little run by happen with these zealots up at the 9 o'clock position.
Yeah, these the run bys this entire series has been really good for Zest. And I think once Zest spots this move out from Dream, he should be able to move in with the Charizard Force. Now, it's important to note that there is a Dark Shrine being plotted down by Zest. If he can hold on long enough to get those DTs out. Oh, actually, as I say that, hold that thought. There was a Spotter Marine. We'll be able to see these Charizard. And Dream will be able to at least possibly clean the rest of these up. But we do see another Charizard Force down on the bottom here. So Zest is just running around with it. Oh, actually, these Stalkers might catch these Metavacs out in the middle.
I think both players should be really careful about how they engage here. I think Zest doing the wise thing, kind of force fielding stuff, backing off. He does have 4 Colossi. I think fighting in a choke would be better, but okay, while this is happening, the Charizard Force you mentioned earlier is doing some damage, but the main bulk of the fight is happening here. These Colossi need to, they're slowly getting picked off one by one.
Yeah, he doesn't have any. He didn't have any sentries to force field those army from getting on top of his Colossus, and now he does lose his 4th base. But like you said, that run by those Charizard has gotten 26 SCV kills. I would take 26 SCVs over any Nexus any time of the day. But the question is, Zest, he lost the majority of his Colossus. Only 1 survives. So he is down quite the large amount of army supply. But these DTs are active. The Dark Shrine has commenced. And there is no turrets in any of these bases.
Only one command center has energy for a scan, and that is the command center at the natural. So we'll see. He's splitting these up, and he's not going to be able to do scan everywhere. It is important to note that EMP will be able to spot DTs. But here we go. We're looking to the 3rd. How many is it going to get? 3. Okay. Oh, Dream doing a good job of shooting down the DT that was in the other base. Oh, 45, 46. There's not quite enough energy. There will be shortly. There it comes down.
But that is great for Zest, even though he gets 5, but he made Dream retreat back home, giving him more time to produce those disruptors, research his upgrades. And those disruptors are almost done. Dream looking for the kill here at the 3rd base.
Yeah, we don't have any more mines here, so there's no real splash damage from the Terran player. Good force field's going to force Dream to rotate to the other side.
There's some little bit of a posturing here by both players.
Yeah, squaring off. Now, Zest does have this beautiful wall of observers, right? He's got, 3 observers running almost in a diagonal across the map, plus a 4th one up outside of his main base. A little bit of poking here, and I think Zest picking up a couple units, and Dream finally finds that observer. Scans it down.
Dream is kind of trying to get a flank kind of happening, but Zest keeps... Oh, these disruptors! Gotta say.
One of them is going to fall. The other one on cooldown now.
Oh man, this is really nice for Zest. He's engaging half his army of Dream while the other one try to catch back up. However, those disruptors have been sniped off. Only 1 remains. These DTs, though, are doing some nice work on the Bioforce. But is it quite enough? I think he just has enough. All these DTs, additional disruptors joining the force as well. And Zest should be able to push this back.
Yeah. I think as this other group kind of comes up with some more ghosts to get the EMPs in there and reveal the DTs, Zest won't be able to chase everything down and kill it, but I think he's happy defending his 4th base. He finally gets that online. He's mined out his main and pretty close to mining out his natural, so he needs another source of income.
All right, so I'm loving this. Zest is adding some Archons. Getting actually, he's researching Colossus once again, knowing that the Vikings have stopped producing, but he's transitioning into that in a scary time as Dream is looking to once again take down this 3rd base. There are some shield batteries in the back, so but there are actually they're drained right now, so won't be able to be that helpful during the fight. But some yeah, left and right here movement by the forces.
Yeah, Dream actually lifting off his main CC, flying it over to take a 5th base, and he's got a lot of energy. He's been saving it up, not calling down mules, so he can scan as needed to kill these DTs. Dream pushing in with quite a scary force here. Only 2 disruptors. 1 disruptor now, one of them going down. A Colossus coming out, but there's a lot of bio still alive. 2 Colossi, one of them in a very awkward exposed position. 1 going down. There's just no army left here from Zest. And that's going to be it. Dream will take the series 5-3.
Yeah, really well
great
done.
game.
Yeah, great game. Really great game to end it on. That game went for, let's see how long, 17 minutes. And some really nice movement, very nice back and forth by both players. Unfortunately for Zest, it was just basically Dream's night as he was able to claim the victory 5-3 with some impressive bio play.
Yeah, very good job. I love all of the the 2 mines that he did. I think almost every single game went in. Even if they didn't get damaged the first time, he'd come back with them. He'd keep them alive and just make sure that he was mentally taxing Zest, so that Zest had to be like, okay, I've got to think about this and protect against it while also defending everywhere else. Very well done by Dream.
For sure. Remember, guys, there is a Matchino page here. Let's actually pop it up. Looks like we got some additional few contributions, but make sure to go over there, type in the coupon code, and help support the players. And if you guys like any of the games and want the replay pack, it could be all yours for just $2.
Yeah. Well, I think that just about wraps it up. Is there anything else we need to take care of before moving on here?
No, I think we are all good. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you, FEcoMA, for co-casting with me.
Yeah, thank you, Snoopy, for pulling me in, and I want to thank our players once again, both Dream and Zest, for putting on a terrific series here. We got to see 8 games out of the 9, which is always great. Not having a 5-0 or something early on.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and run one 60-second ad, and then after that we'll raid one of our friend Renegade and send you over to his channel. So once again, thank you all for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next time.
Nuclear missile ready.